In this tutorial, we'll go over creating the curtain walls for our project 2. Curtain walls, if you reference the handout, looks like there's a couple of different sizes and types of curtain walls. We'll begin with the first set over in the warehouse. Looks like there's 6 of them that are all the same size and 3 at each of the levels. So I'm going to zoom in over here at the corner of my building along grid line A and begin by creating my first curtain wall. Curtain walls are just a different wall type. If I get into my wall tool and go to my type selector all the way down towards the bottom, I'll have a selection to either pick a curtain wall, exterior glazing, or a storefront type of wall. The difference between those three is that a curtain wall will just put in a single piece of glass. Exterior glazing will put in sets of glass with grid lines in them, and a storefront will be the glass broken up with grid lines and add mullions to them. With the simple curtain walls that I'm using for this project, I'm going to lay out just the curtain walls as a piece of glass first, and we'll show you how to individually input grid lines and then mullions after. So I'm going to go ahead and select the curtain wall tool here. Make sure that the top of it goes to top of storefront. And then what I'll do is, referencing my handout, it looks like that first curtain wall begins at 3 foot 8 from the corner, but my wall thickness is 8 inches thick. So if I go 3-4 and I begin down the middle of my CMU block wall, and that wall is 11 feet 4 inches in length, I'm going to go ahead and input that in there. Now you're going to have this warning that comes up that says that curtain wall that we just modeled is actually inside another wall, and that's okay. We're going to just ignore that warning for the time being. To fix that, what we want to do is have our curtain wall cut a hole out of my CMU block wall, and that's actually a type property that I can select. So I'm going to come back and pick that curtain wall inside the wall, the CMU block wall, and say edit its type, and then I'm going to automatically embed it by selecting that little radio button there into other wall types. And when I make that change, it will go ahead and cut out the CMU block wall wherever I have this curtain wall now. Let's go and look at that in the 3D view. So if I take a look at it, what I have now is a piece of glass that is inside my CMU block wall. I'm going to break it up in its grid pattern and then add mullions to it. If I go to the Architecture tab, there's a tool here called Curtain Grid, and so I'm going to go ahead and select that tool, and I'll place my vertical grids first. Referencing the handout, they're spaced at 2 foot 10 on center, so I'm going to put my first one in at 2 foot 10, and then the next, and the next, and that will get me my vertical grids. And then I also have a horizontal grid that runs 2 feet from the bottom of the window, and I'll place it there. When you want to place vertical grids, you hover over a horizontal portion of the wall. When you want to place a horizontal grid, you go over a vertical edge or grid of the wall, and you can place horizontal grids. That will have all the grids then that we need for this curtain wall system. I'll then get out of that tool by escaping, and now I want to add some mullions to it. So I'm going to go to my mullion tool that sits next to the curtain grid tool, and I'm going to say I want to place them on all grid lines. And if I select all of those grid lines, I now get mullions placed at every grid line. Now once I have one of these curtain walls built, the remaining 5 are exactly like this, they're just in different locations. So I'll go back to my main level view, and I'll take this curtain wall and I'm going to copy it down the north wall. So I'll select it and go to my copy tool, and I'm just going to copy it from any location, and as long as I use a straight line distance and put the right spacing in, I'll be okay. But I need to copy it the full distance of one curtain wall width plus the spacing between them. So if I do some math, it looks like the curtain wall was 11.4, the spacing between them is 3'4", so I need to copy that 14 foot 8 inches to get the second curtain wall. Once I've got that second curtain wall in there, I need to get a curtain wall around this corner. To do that, I can select that same curtain wall I had before and use my mirror tool. And I'm going to use the Draw Mirror Axis tool, which is this one here. And when I use that, I can draw a line at a 45-degree angle off that outside corner there, and it will mirror it across the corner and in it to the other wall. So if I go back to my 3D view and take a look at that, I now have the curtain walls laid out for the main level area. Now I need to get these same curtain walls up to the mezzanine level area. To do that, I'll go back to my main level view, and I'll select each of these 3 curtain walls, and I'm going to copy them from their location on the main level to a location at the mezzanine level. Now this is not the normal copy tool. This is a little different copy tool. I'm going to use copy to the clipboard. So it is on the ribbon up here, and it's called right there, copy to clipboard. It's like a normal Windows kind of a copy tool. So I'm going to copy those items to the clipboard, and then I'll shift to my mezzanine level view, and I'm going to do like a paste special. So I'll hit this expansion here, and I'll say paste aligned to the current view. And what that will do, we'll put those curtain walls above the original ones in the main level, but they'll be here at the mezzanine level. So if I now go look at my 3D view, I have all 6 of those curtain walls laid out in that corner of the building. The next thing I'm going to do is put the curtain wall into the office area. Go back to my main level view, back to my wall tool, choosing curtain wall. I'm going to double check, make sure that the top constraint is still at top of storefront, and then I will model in that curtain wall down the center line of the ephes wall. Put in at 24 feet. We'll have the glass wall in there. Let's go ahead and look at it in a 3D view to put our grids in. If I come back to my 3D view and I'm going to put my curtain grids in there, and looking at the spacing off of the handout, those grids are spaced at 3 feet. So we're going to put some 3-foot grids in there, and then we have a 6-foot opening for our door, and then another set of grids that are spaced 3 feet. We have another one that's horizontal, 2 foot from the bottom of the wall to match what we did in the other curtain walls. Before I go and finish off this wall, the wall that is on the other side of the building here is exactly like this one, except it doesn't have a door in it. So I'm going to go ahead and mirror this wall into the other wall and then finish it off first. So I'll go back to my main level view, select that curtain wall, and like I did with the other one, go to my Draw Mirror Axis tool, select that outside corner, and as long as I go at a 45-degree increment to draw that line in, it will mirror it across the corner, a 90-degree corner. So now that I have that other wall mirrored in here, let's go back to my 3D view and let's take a look at how this is coming together. So here we have this wall in here. I'm going to add one more curtain grid into it. Then, once I have all the curtain grids there, I can add mullions to that down all grid lines, and I'll have this wall set. Now I can turn my attention back to the entry wall. One of the things that you need to remember about curtain wall doors is that they like to go into a single piece of glass, and I have a whole other video just on that. So I'll let you reference that to put the curtain wall door in, but we'll go ahead and set this wall up to be ready to do that. So to turn this area where the door is into a single piece of glass, I'll go ahead and select that grid line and say Add Remove Segments, and then pick the segment that I want to remove there. And then I'll go ahead and add mullions down all grid lines and have that wall ready to put the curtain wall door in. Again, I refer you to the other video that deals with just placing the door into the curtain wall.